my name's Kelsey. I'm the owner of Jolu Design, and today we're going to be talking about how I made $1,000 in one day with Instagram influencers. Okay, first things first, you have to look professional if you want to get Instagram influencers. They are putting their name on the line, and if you do not have their credentials, they are not going to want to promote your product to their 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 million followers. That is just not going to be a plausible thing. So definitely, if you are not already established on Instagram, and I don't mean in the sense of having a few thousand followers. Jolu's Instagram only has a little over 200 followers. I really only get about maybe at most 20 likes on a post. I'm really not that small, and I rarely ever get comments. So by no means am I saying you have to have the best engagement. It definitely is good for Instagram, but I'm not saying you need it to reach out to influencers. What I am saying, however, is you need to look professional. I did not reach out to Instagram influencers until I had over 100 sales on my Etsy shop and I had already opened my website. So you definitely need to keep that in mind. These influencers are putting their name on the line, and they're giving the followers that they've worked hard to get your name and saying, hey, look, I'm supporting this person because they're a legitimate company. And if you can't handle one, the volume, or two, you do not look professional, they are not going to want to work with you. So just take your own personal feelings out of it. Look at it as a very objective thing. Can your business handle the volume if you do get a lot of people coming in because of this influencer? And two, before you even reach out to an influencer, definitely make sure that you look professional and that you have as much of your ducks in a row as possible. I wanted to be able to make sure that I can say, hey, look, over 100 people have bought my product. You can see it on my Etsy shop. Look, I have over 80 items on my Etsy shop. There's plenty of variety for you and for your followers. And that was my way of kind of being look, I can do this if we want to work together. So if you do have an established Instagram, you think you are ready for this, definitely start looking at Instagram influencers. I would definitely say it is a 24-hour job. I am always on Instagram looking for new influencers. I actually find them and keep them in the collections tab of Instagram, so you can actually make separate little folders. So I have one that literally says influencers, and I have a whole list of ones that really match the niche, the aesthetic. They have good following, they have really good engagement, which is super important, which we will get into now. I definitely say if you're looking at influencers, 10,000 followers, around that range. I definitely have some that have 7,000, but their engagement is really, really good. I have some who are 13,000. Their engagement isn't quite as good, but it really makes up for it with the sheer number that come through. So definitely look at 10,000 followers, around that area, and look at the amount of likes that each post gets. So if they have 10,000, I definitely say their likes should be around 400 to 700 likes per post. Some will clearly get more because they go viral. Others may not be. I have noticed that promoted posts do not get as much likes, so you have to kind of keep that in mind, that their post for your company probably won't get as many likes as they usually get. It doesn't mean it's a fail. It's just naturally people are kind of turned off whenever anyone promotes anything. So just kind of keep that in mind, that if they had done a promotional post, it's probably not going to get as many likes, but it's also good for you to know this is how their people react, this is how their followers react to promoted posts. And if it's severely down where they literally only got 200 likes and no comments or something like that, then you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons. With 10,000 followers and the likes, also look at their comments. If you have about 10,000 followers, I would say more 10 or more comments is definitely really good. That means they're engaging, because you do it, I do it, we just scroll everything that we see. We're not actually looking and paying attention. But if you can see that their followers are commenting on posts, that means they're actually engaged, they're really interested, they have some kind of stake in that influencer, and they want to be a part of that influencer's world, and that normally can translate into sales. So if you are having trouble finding influencers, I would definitely say look at the hashtags that work with your niche. So when it comes to posts, I have about 30 hashtags that I use for each post, since that's all we can use for each post. But personally, I use Modern Bohemian, I'll use Boho Decor, I'll use My Square or Share My Square. All of those I actually follow, so they end up on my feed. I use that to find influencers as well as my Discover page. Now that my kind of Instagram has figured out exactly what I'm looking for and exactly what I'm interested in looking at, my Discover page actually has a whole bunch of influencers that may be a bit smaller in the sense of they have 10,000 followers, which is perfect for what I'm looking for. And I can actually look through just like 1 or 2 times a week, maybe I'll do it once a day, and I'll just put them in my collections tab, and then whenever I'm ready to actually reach out, that's whenever I'll just go in my collections tab, I'll look through, I'll see which one kind of works with either like a new collection I'm doing, if the colors in their house would really look good, if they happen to be doing something and I'm like, oh, if I add my product onto this, it could help, something like that. Overall, I use kind of the same template, which I'm about to show you, and I personalize it for each one, which is super important. I would definitely say, like, build a relationship with influencers. Don't just send out stuff. They get that all day long. But if you're, like, following this influencer, you're liking, you're commenting, you're engaging with their IG stories, stuff like that, they are more likely to, 1, notice you, and 2, agree to work with you, which is really nice. Like, building some kind of relationship with an influencer is really nice, and it works for future projects. Okay, I'm going to post right here exactly what I do. Now keep in mind that I do personalize after like the hello. I personalize each one for different people. So if they have something unique about their house or their home or their family, if they have a dog, I'll mention something like that, kind of building that relationship again. But this is just the very basic one that you can like copy and kind of make into your own if you'd like. Hello, your home is so beautiful. I want to gift you a free unframed print of your choosing for my Etsy shop. In exchange, I only ask that you post the print to your Instagram and share the post to your stories, making sure to tag my page. I have a promo code to provide to your followers for 20% off their purchase. Please let me know what you think and we can discuss it further details. Feel free to browse my page on my Etsy shop, and then I linked the Etsy shop. I'm happy to answer questions you have. And the fun thing with Instagram is whatever you link, it actually makes like a little drop down, so they can literally just click it. They'll go right to it, and it makes it very, very simple for them to just browse through and even see if they want to work with you. Now, you may have noticed I added the 20% off. That is just an extra incentive for their followers. Everyone gets promoted to all day long, but if you're like, oh, I get 20% off of like, just because I follow this influencer, I'm getting this special treatment. Everyone loves to feel special. So if you can offer a percentage off, I would definitely suggest that. I totally understand if you can't. If you're first starting out, it's definitely difficult to offer percentages off just because you don't really have that capital to begin with. Now, you have found your influencer, you have sent this message, and you wait. And you wait, and you wait, and you hear nothing. So, I hate to say it, but it does happen more often than not. You could probably send out 70 to 90 messages and only get about maybe 10 to 20 back. It is sadly how this works. Please do not take it personally. I definitely know it's hard not to. When you're building a business, it can definitely feel like your baby, and people not replying to your messages can feel like they're kind of hating on your child. So please, please, please keep your personal feelings out of it. Influencers are so busy. I know right now, at the time of filming this, a lot of influencers are not even responding to things because personally, the influencers that I connect with are also mothers. And right now it's August, school is starting during a pandemic. Their lives are insane. Everyone's lives are insane right now. So please do not take it personally. I do have a tip. If you send through DMs, you can actually see if they've seen it. And if they haven't, unsend the message. So hold down the message and a pop-up will come up and you can unsend it. And then you can resend it. It'll pop back to the top of their DMs. And you can kind of have more of a likely chance that you're not just going to get lost in the abyss of the DMs. So if you can do that, I also email if they do have an email connected to it, just because people are more likely to like connect with their email and look through their email, especially bloggers. They are used to kind of contacting through email. So definitely try that route as well. Again, you can use the template that I just put up. I'll also have a link below, kind of just typed out. So those are my tips for Instagram influencers. I definitely suggest at least trying it out. I personally have gotten over $1,000 in one day. I had over 40 sales in one day. I gained a whole bunch of followers, not only on Instagram, but also on the Etsy shop. So anytime I would do updates or anything like that, those people who are following and liking the page immediately get an update. So it's just constant things. I also got even more people signing up for my email list, which means even more future customers. So if this does seem like something, I really hope these tips helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll see you next week. Oh, if you like this, I might be putting it up on the shop soon. So, shameless plugs.